Britain's rise for 200 years was financed by its depredations in India.
Well, if you don't know where you've come from, how will you appreciate where you're going? There is no country on earth that is more diverse than India. It's not the side of the bigger army that wins. It's the country that tells a better story.
Friends, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest this evening. We at the Indian CEO Forum are indeed fortunate to have such a luminary in our midst, Dr. Shashi Tharoor. He was born to a Malayali Nair family of Lily and Chandran Tharoor in London and completed his schooling in Mumbai and then graduated from St. Stephen's, New Delhi. At a very young age of 22, Shashi Tharoor completed his PhD from the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, USA. He began his career in the UN in 1978. He headed the UNHCR office in Singapore during the Boat People crisis and subsequently led the team responsible for peacekeeping operations in the former Yugoslavia during the Civil War. In 1996, Dr. Tharoor became Executive Assistant to Secretary General Kofi Annan and was also appointed Director of Communications. Post 9/11, he conducted the first ever seminar on Islamophobia, where he wisely said that no one is born intolerant, only taught to be so. In 2006, Shashi Tharoor was nominated by the Government of India to contest for the post of Secretary General of the UN. Among the 7 candidates in the fray were a president, 2 deputy prime ministers, several foreign ministers, and even a prince. Yet, Dr. Tharoor came within 2 votes only of Ban Ki-moon in the first ballot. He subsequently withdrew his candidacy, and you can read why in an article titled "The Inside Story of How I Lost the Race for the UN Secretary General Job in 2006. In 2009, Dr. Tharoor contested the Indian general election as a candidate for the Congress party from Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, and won. He was later sworn in as Minister of State for External Affairs in charge of Africa, Latin America, and the Gulf. Dr. Tharoor is currently Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on External Affairs. He began writing at age 6, and his first published story appeared at age 10 in the Sunday edition of the Free Press Journal, Mumbai. His latest book, Inglorious Empire, is the talk of the town and is setting the internet on fire. He has 5 million followers on Twitter, and his tweets have been conversation starters and seen as controversial even by his own party. The Indian media, though, revel in his quotes, and they're frequently used on salient issues. Dr. Shashi Tharoor is a celebrity in his own right. His books, his speeches, and his suave looks have made him a sought-after personality, one you must certainly take a selfie with. Indeed, unlike the Kardashians, he's not merely famous for being famous. Now, over to Mr. Kiran Redkar, President of the ICF.
Dr. Shashi Tharoor, welcome to Sri Lanka and welcome to this meeting with the friends and families of Indian CEO Forum. This forum was created to represent the interest of Indian businesses operating in Sri Lanka and the interest of those Indians employed as CEOs in organizations within Sri Lanka. Our primary members together contribute over $1 billion investment to the Sri Lankan economy and employ over 20,000 people in this country, which we consider as a second home. Our members include key Indian multinationals from LIOC, Piramal, Tata Group of Companies, Ultratech, C8, and many more famous Indian corporate brands. As we enter our 4th year as a formal entity, we have conducted many medical camps in the villages of Sri Lanka as a means of selfless services in a place of need. We, alongside the existing Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka, are emerging as key influencers in molding and shaping business policy. We are indeed honored by your presence with us this evening and would happily welcome you again to this beautiful island nation. Thank you.
I would like to request the Indian High Commissioner, Honorable Taranjit Sandhu, to please say a few words.
Good evening. It's a privilege for me to welcome Dr. Shashi Tharoor to Sri Lanka. Dr. Tharoor, as all of you know, is one of the most articulate Indians. But I would like to add that he's one of the most distinguished UN diplomats who has served in different positions. And finally, I had the privilege of working with him in New York when he was Under Secretary General of United Nations. I'm sure all of you are going to have a very interesting evening with Dr. Tharoor. He's going to share his wonderful experiences and much more. Have a nice evening.